Rosann, we've known each other for 3 decades.
Yes, a long time.
And you have been a professional counselor.
As you have been a professional counselor, how many people have we known in Hong Kong?
Yes, quite a lot.
So many different people.
And so many changes.
And that's why we want to think about women now and women then, and how women have changed over these years.
That must be very interesting.
Yes.
And it covered different generations.
Always.
Well, if they're interested in what we are talking about, how are they going to find us?
You're going to find us Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, PsychoAlchemy. We are women now and then.
See you there. Hi everybody, welcome back to Woman Now and Then. Hi Rosann. Last
Dorothy.
week we had such a good time talking about our stuff.
Oh, the things, the things. Yes.
And I can imagine all my girlfriends were laughing because I think we have similar problem.
Wow.
So many things at home. And imagine if they have children, now they have grandchildren, and the place didn't get any bigger, and you have so many stuff. And sometimes my girlfriends will say something like, oh gosh, I really want to get out of the house because the house becomes like a piles and piles of clothes.
Yes.
And if the grandchildren comes in and live for a weekend, and there are toys and mess, and you cannot reject your children, right? Your children
you
coming
cannot
back
do
and
that.
stay with you.
Yes.
And then there are cups, mugs, bottles everywhere, and sometimes say, well, the house no longer belong to me.
Whoa.
Being hijacked.
Yes, my house has been hijacked.
And I always I'm quite sarcastic.
Yes.
I say, well, remember when we were young, we usually play a song. It's called "The House Is Not a Home."
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
And they said, yeah, I hate that song. So sad. But that is true, right? You might have a house, and I think a lot of Hong Kong people spend their fortune in their house.
Of course.
Right. But the house was designed by a famous designer. But the house had no personality. It's just a signature of the famous designer.
That could be.
Right. As you
That
can
could be.
see in those beautiful avant-garde magazine.
Yes.
But you don't have your feeling, your own touch. So maybe today we were going to talk about, well, a house and a home.
House and home.
Yeah, how can we change our apartment, our house to a home? And how our women then, with less money, less items, they manage to create a home for their children. Whereas now, women, we have more money, we might be able to buy the best couch, the best furniture, but the children don't want to stay there because the house is not a home. So maybe today we can talk about how women
House and home.
yes. can help
Yeah.
and make a house into a home. And we can start from general, what do you think about
Very general.
general
Very
first.
general. The word house, House.
Yes.
Different from home, Home.
Yes.
A home has me.
H-O-M-E. Yes. Yes.
Home has me in it. And it's not just the setting up of this space.
Yes.
Having a home, being a homemaker, the woman makes the house into a home.
Okay. Yes.
The homemaker takes the empty flat and creates a living space. So there is human idea, there's human effort, and there's human living going on.
Yes.
What do we expect in a home? We expect, where do you live? Often means, where do you sleep?
Yes. Yes.
Okay? Where do you eat? Well, I eat out all the time, say some people, but do you ever eat at home? So a home has a kitchen, a food preparation area, a bedroom area, a bathroom area for bodily essentials and washing. And a lot of washing has creams and foam and drying agents and creams to put on afterwards. So taking care of the body is one of the things that's done at home. unless for a special occasion you're going to a salon or to a spa. But usually we care for ourselves. We care for our bodies at home.
Yes.
So we sleep at home. That's the big question. Where do you live? That means where do you sleep?
Yeah.
Where do you sleep?
Where do you eat?
Where do you eat? Where do you care for your body?
Yeah.
And then comes this more vague thing of where do you go for comfort? Where do you go for security?
Yes.
So many people, when I walk in that door at night and close the world out, I know I'm home. Which is another way of saying when I'm in my space, I'm comfortable.
Yes.
Now, for many people in Hong Kong, around the world, and many of our viewers, maybe it's not a home, maybe it's a room.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
We have to remember that for many, many people, the space that is their own, her own, is a room.
Yes.
Maybe there's a bathroom adjoining, or a bathroom down the hall, or a bathroom nearby. But the place where she sleeps is her resting place,
Yes.
her comfort area. So home is connected to where you're comfortable,
Yeah.
where you're okay, and to some extent where you nurture yourself. What gives you comfort? The space that gives you comfort, where maybe you're playing music,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe you're stretched out watching an electronic screen, maybe you're reading a book or magazine,
Yeah.
maybe you're meditating.
Yeah. Or maybe just staring out of the window.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the place means you're okay. Home usually means you're safe there. Safe and comfortable.
Yes. Yes. You know, when you said that, when you first start with the home ends with ME,
Yes.
the me has to be in, I immediately think of, so that's why house is ends with USE.
Yes.
It's something that you use, right?
Yes.
So it's functional, right?
Yes.
Whereas home is more to you, it's your own feeling.
Right.
And you helped me solve a big puzzle I had
Really?
in the last 2-3 months. As I told you before, I'm renovating. I'm actually moving out of my old apartment to a
Wow.
new apartment. So in this new place, I can do my own thing. But I was struggling. I have very little artistic sense. And you know, Hong Kong apartment is so small.
Oh, yes.
And I need to put in all my stuff in this little place. And in the past, because I rent this place, and I usually just buy another big cupboard
Cabinet.
and just put everything inside, right?
Yeah.
But now I have my little place. I really want this to be my own design.
Oh.
So I no longer need to buy those just something out from the street, and I can fit. I have a fit furniture, we call this, right? But the thing is, once I have some sort of designer to help me design this so-called fit furniture,
Oh, yeah.
it become very, how do I say, more like a factory kind of feel.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
right. If you buy a cabinet from here, cabinet from there, actually they all have unique style.
Right.
But if you have a carpenter came in to
He's
do,
going to do it all in the wall.
yeah,
however you want it.
Right. It's important in Hong Kong because our space is so small.
Yes.
But then after he drew me all these thing, and I really felt, wow, it looks like a hospital.
Oh.
Or maybe to be fair, it's more like a typical Japanese hotel,
Oh.
right? Those Muji
yes.
hotel.
Right, where
everything is so well fit.
And then you only see the bed because everything else is already organized.
Yeah.
Oh, Dorothy.
I don't know, I was struggling. On one hand, I knew it's very practical. I have so much stuff, and I do need that kind of fixture in order to put all my thing away. But at the same time, like when I came over to your place, I think your place is more like a home.
Oh,
Right, with different design.
Different designs,
You don't
yes.
need to be everything look like a hotel kind of
That's
setting,
right.
So the sofa doesn't need to match with the thing, right? So I was like struggling for such a long time, and after he had designed so much for me, I felt bad if I reject his design, as if I want to go back to scratch, right?
Ooh.
But somehow I'm struggling.
But that's you.
Yeah, that's me. So I don't know what I want. And as
Yeah.
I told you in the last episode, I'm not that environmental sensitive,
Yeah.
right? So I was struggling. Maybe once I walk in, the place is so well organized, I felt very comfortable. And do I really want some place that is so me, right? I have
Yes.
to put so much effort in buying a cabinet, selecting an end table, make sure I have a comfortable chair. You know, I'm not that picky. So I'm
Oh.
giving mixed message to
Yes.
my designer and contractor, and they want to kill me.
Oh.
For almost 3 months, I cannot decide.
Oh yeah.
I cannot make up my mind
Woo.
what I really want.
Yeah, but that's the art of living
Mm-hmm.
is a continuous process.
Yes. Yes.
Living is not set up the apartment, that's it.
Yeah. It's not like
Living-
open the door going
No,
into a hotel, right?
It's how you want to change things, how you want to live. What a process, though.
Yeah.
So maybe you need some of each. Maybe you need some
Mm.
cabinets
Mm.
to hold things in the walls.
Uh-huh.
And then you need to be able to choose
Mm.
what you would like to have.
Yeah.
And that takes a while. Don't expect it to come all at once.
Mm.
Why should it come all at once?
Maybe
We
I
don't
just
know.
don't want to waste so much time on it.
Could
Yeah.
be.
But I'm programming myself, and
Yes.
I'm glad we have this episode about home.
Yes.
Yeah. And whether I can feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the bedroom to me is so important.
All
Yeah.
right.
Mainly not because I like to sleep. Actually, I do a lot of reading
Ah.
on my bed. Right? I will read in the living room, some sort of little area that I can open up my book, papers, and start writing. But my real enjoyment is when I bring this one book and I take it to my bed.
Pillows.
And pillows, yeah, and then my little Bowie cat will come along and will go meow meow meow, and I'll say, okay, I play with you, and I keep on reading.
Ah,
Yeah.
comfort.
That to me, that is
comfort.
the best time of my
Yes.
day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to preserve that.
Okay.
We definitely want to preserve that.
Mm.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
That is really
Right.
good.
And I remember when I was very young, my parents' room have an island bed, and one
Oh.
side, there are two sides, so my father can get off from that side and my mom can get off from the other side. And when we were young, me and my brother Paul will took our little thing, my pillow, and we would just, and a little blanket, and we would just sleep on each side of
Yes, yes, yes.
and those were
Yes.
the days we have very close family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one time my mom decided to renovate the place because more relatives are moving in. So we have no place to stay. At that time we can't afford a hotel. So
Right.
we went to my father's factory and we
Yes.
just make beds there.
Of course. And there are plenty of people in Hong Kong still doing
We're
things
still
like
doing
that.
things like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and then think the bedroom is a place where you can rest, you can read, it's like a family gathering place. And I don't know, but nowadays, women now, well, they might have a much nicer place to stay. They don't need to share their apartment, but the husband might not be around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of a lot of work in Hong Kong now. The men have to travel to China.
Often.
Yeah, so it's all alone in this queen size bed
Yes.
and have nobody. And then the children, occasionally when they were young, they would come over, Mom, can I stay with you? And it becomes such a habit. The children will stay in the father's side. And when the father finally
yeah.
come back from China,
Oh, my goodness.
and the children are not willing to get off the
Yeah.
bed and go back to their room. And sometimes it's like the mother, the children, and then the father, and it becomes so crowded. The father one day will say, forget it. I
Yes.
will go to sleep at my son's room. And that's another frightening thing. The beginning of separate beds.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
And
yes,
so
yes.
House is an interesting place.
Well, house is very interesting, and it does remind me there are people with sleep issues. They cannot get to sleep easily. So one of the first questions they asked is, well, what's your bedroom like? Do you have a television in your bedroom? Take it out.
Take it out, yeah. And
You
now take
bring-
away the iPhone too.
Take away the iPhone and the computer.
Electronic devices
it out,
all out,
out.
right?
And if you're reading in your bedroom, take it out.
Oh no.
So because Hong Kong is so busy. We're a 24-hour city. It is, you're just asked to question, when are you without noise? And is this the place? I challenge that because if you also have a place, let's say in the living dining area, wherever you might have a chair, where you can sit quietly for a while, meditate or pray or imagine, that's where you're not involved in the electronic sounds, and if you're not reading. And there's question about, can you easily read at home? Can you easily pray at home? Can you easily meditate at home? Now some people say, oh yes, I can meditate while I'm walking home. I can meditate on the bus. All right, but that's not quite it. What do you want your home for? What do you want home for? We do know that in Hong Kong, among multi-generation families, there are some homes where no one cooks. The kitchens are not used.
Because no rice couple.
Yes.
No cooking.
Because they're eating at his mom's house or her mom's house.
Or eat out.
Or eating out.
Yeah.
And they either come home just to sleep, watch television, talk to each other.
Yep.
Or the teenagers also could eat at the grandparents' home.
Oh yeah, right.
This is very common among
very
men.
common.
You know, the idea that everybody sits at one table and eats at the same time might not be happening in all those families. And that everyone can gather in the bed. Oh, that's not done sometimes. So we have to rethink when you say home, when I say home, when Gloria or Susie or Janet says home. People might have a very different idea in their heads of what their home is. The thing that's common is the making of a home. It can't be a home unless you want it to be a home.
Yes.
Can't be a
When
home.
you just said that, I was thinking there are certain people like the middle income group. They indeed had a nice little dining area, but you can imagine if there are children, the dining table are actually all textbook books, and they don't have a place to eat.
Yes.
And when they have dinner, maybe the mom just give them a plate of rice with some food, and they just go and sit over and watching the TV.
Yes.
And I remember when I first studied psychology, and there's this on child development, there's this whole big issues about how important for the family to be together and have a dinner together. But now I think in Hong Kong, even at my age, my father and my mother, maybe at that time television is a big deal.
Yes.
We'll just turn on the TV and we watch the TV and eat. There's
Yes.
very little talking. And now it's even worse, right? Everyone becomes so natural. The TV is on and they watch TV and eat together. And now, I don't know about your clients, but my clients are telling me the kids will just come out, grab their food, and bring their food to the room to watch the computer. They're not even watching TV together. Watching TV together to Chinese family or Hong Kong family is still a family event.
Yes.
But now they don't even share the same program.
So eating together means something different. Some surveys were done among secondary school students in Hong Kong. It turns out that when you ask how many meals a week do you eat with your family, 2 was the most common. Lunchtime on Saturday and lunchtime on Sunday. And it was either eating out or going to the grandparents' home.
Yeah.
But the family meant more than one generation, often 3 generations.
Right.
But the average for the week is twice. So Hong Kong people eat out. I don't know if that's true. Maybe other large cities as well.
Yeah. We got to talk about this in more details. Let's come back and we'll continue our conversation about the house is not a home.
Dorothy 有啲人咧成日話我哋九型人格嘅4號仔咧，就硬係咧好多愁善感，又分外多情嘅喎。你點睇呢一樣嘢？
咁就見仁見智嘅。 不過比起其餘嗰8個 number 咧，我哋又真係好似好多時都被情所困咁樣，真係會令人會覺得我哋好多情嘅。
咁但係情又係乜嘢嘅一回事呢？
咁其實情好闊㗎，有對父母嘅情啦，對兄弟姊妹嘅情啦，友情啦咁。不過我諗最困擾我哋嘅就係啲痴情咯。同埋因為情而帶嚟嘅好多嘅傷痛。
咁啊，如果大家咧想知道我哋有幾咁多情咧，就留意我哋個節目啦。逢星期四晚夜晚10點正，練心堂濃滿多情。
Dorothy, talking about Hong Kong families and how we eat. I live in a very busy part of town. One of my favorite scenes is anywhere between 7 and 9 at night. I see a couple who meet coming along MTR or bus route. They talk for just a short time, and she goes one direction to get some food. He goes another direction to get food or drink, and they meet up, come into the building, and they're each carrying bags. Now, from the number of bags and maybe the cold drinks, you can see they're not going to cook. Everything is there. They're very happy to see each other.
Yes.
Very happy to see each other. And one can hear the conversation in the lift of, I got this, I got that. Yeah. Happy to see each other. Happy to have hot prepared food. They're going to eat together.
Yes.
They're going home to eat together.
Yeah.
But they didn't prepare that food.
Yeah. Takeaway is a big thing in Hong Kong.
But takeaways a lot in many big cities now. You can buy food to take away from restaurants, from purposeful takeaway shops, or you can even go into supermarkets
and buy those.
And buy a plate or a box and you fill it up.
Yes.
So cooking is not so much of an activity. It is for some. And I want to talk about, we know this happens. We know this happens. Do we want it to happen? Well, economics. If both partners, or even 3 adults and 4 kids, 3 adults and 2 kids, what size is the household? Sometimes it makes more sense to buy the food than to take the time to prepare it.
Yeah. But if you have more than, in Hong Kong, if you have more than 1 kid, actually I think we'll go for the Filipino maid and the Indonesian maid. And they help us a lot. And I think by preparing some meals at home, already create a pretty good family setting.
Yes.
But the sad thing is, the father and the mother cannot come back and eat at the same time.
Often
Usually the children eat first, and then maybe the father come first or the mother come first, and then have to save some food for the last one to come in.
Yes.
Or maybe the father already ate and come back and already is 9 or 10. So I can imagine in Hong Kong, the bedroom is no longer a place where the people really rest. A lot of Hong Kong bedrooms must have television.
Yes.
So you
this is
can
true.
imagine they don't want to create a lot of noise outside. The children might be still studying, so the parents might just go into their room and watch their TV.
Yes.
So you can imagine it's not a resting place. So the kitchen no longer cook food. And then the dining room, nobody dine in the dining table. It's just another place for homework. And they all sit in front of the TV somewhere.
Or that electronic screen.
Yeah. And before our break, you mentioned the home is a place where you can really rest. And whether you meditate or not doesn't matter. Maybe just a chair for you just to sit there and doing nothing.
To do nothing.
Do nothing.
Is riches.
Yeah.
If you can do nothing.
Yeah. And that is and Hong Kong, if there is some space where you can put a chair, usually they will go out and buy those electronic massage chair, which is so humongous and blocks so much of the space.
Yes.
And I was so lucky. My mom gave me one as my birthday gift.
Oh my.
And I actually seldom use it.
Oh.
And it blocks so much of my living room space.
Maybe it cannot go to the new place.
It can, but I honestly think if I can give it away, it would be so much better.
Oh, yes.
But it will hurt my mother's feeling.
Oh.
Right?
That's
It's her
very
gift,
sad.
right? It's like the
Oh,
last
that's
week's Burberry coat.
Yes.
I dare not give it away. So I was thinking, this big, humongous furniture, I cannot use it now, mainly because I don't really need it. But at the same time, once I start to have it on,
Yes.
it's very dangerous for my little cat. My kitty cat will run
then
around and
that's a
this thing
danger.
will move, right?
Yes.
And so I have to trap her Bowie somewhere inside my bedroom in order to relax for 20 minutes. And I can hear him meow, meow, meow.
Oh,
What?
my.
Let me out, let me out. So I was thinking, a lot of things we are now having at home, is it really necessary?
Yes.
Do you have something like a piano at home?
No, but I thought about getting a piano. And when I mentioned this to a friend, she said, get one of those keyboards
Oh,
that
yeah,
rolls
yeah,
up. It rolls up.
Right.
And you can put it away. Well, that's not the same as having a piano in the house.
Yes.
Having some musical instruments
Yeah, right.
in the house.
Yeah, Chinese family, if they are middle income, they usually can afford to buy their children a piano. And the sad thing is, not too many children successfully or they enjoy playing the piano. But the piano still gets stuck somewhere in the living room. And it's so funny. I hear a lot of stories about the piano becomes the storage, becomes the bookshelf, becomes the photo where they put all the photo frames. But nobody ever opened up the piano.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah.
Why do we keep something?
Why do we keep
some
something?
things?
Yeah.
Why do we keep something? Well, one of the things also that goes into making the home are the processes we do in the home.
Yes.
Like, okay, let me do a mundane thing. All the clothes have to be washed. Just think of who we know and how they wash clothes. Some people wash once a week.
Once
in
a
U.S.,
week.
this is not unheard of. I need 5 pairs of jeans.
Right.
Because I work once a week.
Yes.
I need 2 weeks of underwear
Yeah.
because...
Wash once a
But I
week.
find in Hong Kong people wash every day.
No, more or less, right?
More or less every day.
Yeah.
So the washing machines are
So
smaller.
small, right.
And things might be dried on the bamboo poles.
Yeah. Or the string.
Or the string.
Yeah.
Or up on hangers.
Uh-huh.
Or there are a few dryers. Not many people
Not too
have
many.
dryers. Not too many people have dryers. But there's a process to no wet clothes get to sit on the bathroom floor or in the hand. You don't let clothes sit in Hong Kong because of the moisture.
Yeah.
So there's a process about washing clothes, drying clothes, ironing clothes. Very few need ironing, but some do. The silk things do need
Yeah,
ironing.
yeah.
Hanging them up according to whichever system you want. There's a process to
Yes.
that. So I ask, what other processes go on in your house? Well, what do you mean, Rosann?
Processes.
When you buy something, where does the bag go? Where does the packaging go? What's the process in your house? We throw it all away. Oh, the environment people would have some questions about that. Well, now, what about cooking? Now, we've talked about the couples who do not cook.
Right.
Do not cook. This happens. And even couples with children, it's not unusual for and even when there's a helper, the grandmother or the grandfather comes over when the school is finished
Yes.
and will eat with the children.
Yes, they will
Oh.
stay with the children
Stay
till the
with the
parents
children.
come back and have
That's
dinner
true.
together. Yeah.
That
It's more
is
like
true.
a more reliable babysitter.
And it's the job for the grandmother.
Grandparent, right?
It could be the grandfather, not always the grandmother. She's got other things to do.
Yes.
But enjoying being with school-age kids and teenage kids. Teenage kids love to have adults around them. They don't talk much, but they like having adults around them. I hear from teenagers. They like... My grandmother's always around, and she always have a nice bowl of congee ready. When I come home, I know there's soup or congee ready for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a process going on.
Yes.
That household sees people coming in and the middle to the late afternoon on into the evening. The morning process. Oh, more chaotic.
Ooh. And in Hong Kong, it's quite common that a little apartment have one toilet, one bathroom.
Yes, one bathroom.
So you can imagine children rushing in, and then the father has to go to work, and then the mom, and then the Filipino maid, all trying to use the bathroom at the same time. And I, as you said, I don't know why. When I was young, we are not we will have a very small place, so many people. Somehow we manage a system. Somehow it just work out.
Talking about it or not talking, you notice
Yeah.
who needs the bathroom
Yes.
when.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes you really have to talk with the kids. Look, you got to take the showers at night
yeah.
because it's too crowded
Correct.
in the morning.
Yeah,
Too
but
crowded.
one thing I did you were in the school for quite some time, right? Teaching
Yes.
teenagers. I was surprised when I hear teenagers telling me they can stay in the shower for 30 minutes.
Yes.
I mean, are you working in some sort of construction site? It was so dirty, and it's such a waste of water. You even in shower,
Yes.
how can you have water coming
For
down
30
for 30 minutes?
Yes, that's
Is it meditation? Water meditation? I have no idea.
hydrotherapy.
Hydrotherapy, swimming class. You know,
Oh,
I
I
never
see.
understand. This kind of concept never happened when I was young. We have to save water, and we grew up at the time when water was really precious.
Yeah.
Right? But even after we don't have this control of water usage, we still shower. It's like maximum 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's maximum I'm talking about,
Wow.
right? But now my nephews say, oh, well, I'm late, Dorothy, because Auntie Dorothy, because Brandon is still in the toilet. Well, what time did he get inside the washroom?
Yeah.
Well, about 45 minutes ago. What
Wow.
happened? Well, he's still in the shower. Huh?
Oh,
I don't know
Oh, my
why. Is it
goodness.
Hong Kong kids? Did you hear something like
no,
that
no,
from your
teenagers
school?
need a lot of alone time. And that's one of
So
the
running
excuses.
water is like a camouflage.
Yeah, yes.
Actually, he might be doing something
Right,
else.
yes,
Oh,
or just
okay.
thinking.
Oh, okay.
Thinking about, should I shave, should I not shave, should I cut my hair a different way? For teenagers, the
Okay.
body appearance is so important. We go from the shower time. Again, we're looking at patterns of use in the home, which are so important. Now, some people, when they come home, I can say, like a cold beer, or a glass of lemonade,
Yes.
or a mug of tea,
Yes.
herbal tea, or
Yeah.
sometimes something to nibble with it, but often not. It means my day is finished. I need some time. Now, where do people go to have that time? Is there a chair that they particularly... I don't think people come in and go right to bed.
No, no, no.
There's
no.
some
in
process of
between.
unwinding.
Unwinding.
Unwinding from the
Yeah.
day.
Uh-huh.
And not wanting to eat right away. Not wanting to eat, but wanting a drink. Now, warm drinks are comforting, but so much of Hong Kong is...
So hot.
It is hot.
Yeah.
People want cold drinks. So, do you recall any of those patterns of use in the home where you come in and what happens? What do you
Oh,
drink?
okay.
Where do you sit? See, that's making the home
Yeah.
using a process.
Right. Well, I remember talking about my parents' time.
Yes.
My father, after a day's work, and when he was younger, he would like to have a cup of, not just a cup of tea. He wanted maybe a beer.
Yes.
Bottled beer, or maybe a a glass with beer, and he would just go into his sofa and he would start reading his newspaper again. And, but
Yes.
he has his mug
Close by.
yeah, close by. And when he's really relaxed, finished with drinking, sometimes he might want to have a cup of tea. And not much
Yeah.
eating because very close to dinner time.
Yes, yes,
But that
yes.
is his time for relaxing.
Yes.
And if you ask me, after a whole day's work, I will usually just get myself some sort of drink, and then I will just sit in one of those dining room chair and start reading some newspaper, and
Yeah.
if not, opening up the letters.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and do a little errand. And
Yes.
but to me, that is a very relaxed time.
Calming time.
Yeah,
Calming time.
it's more like a transition time. Work is all busy.
Yes.
But when I pick up my mail from my house apartment's mailbox, and I start opening up, reading it, actually I'm more changed into a
yes.
family setting.
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
now with a kitty cat, and Bowie will just come around my feet,
Yes.
and we'll just start talking. And I think I will have almost 20 to 30 minutes of relaxed time. Usually after 10 or 15 minutes, I'll change. And then I'll go back and sit on the same spot,
Oh,
right?
oh,
And
oh,
if
oh.
I indeed very tired, I will just turn on the TV, watch the news, for a
Yes.
little while. I think I do understand why Hong Kong people love to watch so much TV. Because
Why is that? Yeah.
once you watch TV, you really get your mind off.
You get
Right.
your mind off work.
Work,
And
definitely.
the congestion, you know.
Yes,
There's
yes.
more than 5 million people in Hong Kong riding the
Oh,
MTR every day.
oh, you mean the MTR?
Well,
yeah, yeah.
there's 7 million of us here.
Right.
But more than 5 million ride the MTR
Back
every
and
day.
forth, right. Mm.
No, the MTR is not a quiet place. People don't want to be there forever. So when you get into your own space, you can relax your shoulders. But you just think almost everyone in Hong Kong has the MTR experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or the bus experience.
Yeah.
Or both.
Mm.
Or both. So you get home and you go,
Unwind. Yeah,
Yes.
unwind.
unwind.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I can understand if you are you are a housewife, you have been waiting for your husband to come back and start talking to you, but it's so hard because all day in his office is already like a war zone, and then coming back home is another struggle. So by the time he got back to his apartment, his place, his home, he really want to relax a little while. Yeah, quiet.
Just quiet.
But you can imagine, right? The dining table is all your children's textbook and the papers and the books, and then you hear your wife screaming at the children.
Oh dear. Oh dear, yes.
You can
yes,
imagine.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
heard a lot of men said, when I got to the 32nd floor, the elevator door opened. I actually hear my wife screaming at my son.
Ooh.
I will close the door, press the closed door, go back to the podium, and find a place. If they smoke, they take a cigarette.
Yes.
If they don't smoke, they play with the phone and think, okay, another 15 minutes. Give me 15 minutes before I go up and face another battlefield. So that's
Wow,
that's pretty sad,
different.
right?
Sad. Tell us about life in Hong Kong, and is this home a place of safety, calm, comfort? Oh, our homes we need to care for our homes.
Yes.
We need to make our homes a home.
Yes, yes.
A contrast with Western society generally. I see this happening increasingly. Is that people are going back to cooking their own food.
Yes, yes.
They want to eat more healthfully, so less salt, less sugar, less fat, to be sure that they can eat that way. They go to a market to buy, especially fresh vegetables or whole grains or organic meats.
Yeah.
They're going to do that. So someone's got to make time to do
Yes.
that. And then someone's got to begin to think, well, I don't want the helper in the kitchen. Oh, now there's more discussion.
And another thing I see coming
yes.
very, very nicely, because of the space we don't have in Hong Kong,
Right.
we have open kitchen.
Oh,
So open kitchen is another good thing. When maybe the husband is cooking or the wife is helping, actually they can talk.
Yes.
Right? And that's something I like it too. Even though I know Chinese cooking can be quite oily and sometimes there might be smoke coming out and the smell is strong. But just imagine if you are cooking and someone is in the dining room, you can talk.
it's good if,
Right?
if
It's
there's
not
good if
like a
open.
punishment that woman has to get stuck in the kitchen, do all this oily thing, and then prepare 3 dishes and come out already very tired, and the children were just waiting to eat. All right. So
Ah.
I think this is more Western idea. It's definitely
Open.
not a Chinese concept.
Wow, yeah.
But I think this trend is good for Hong Kong. Once you have open kitchen, you tend to make less greasy stuff.
That's true.
Right?
That's
so
happening
it will
with our time.
indirectly change the
Yes,
diet
yes,
too.
yes,
So maybe
yes.
that's something this house gradually becomes a home because the people are seeing each other. They don't go back to their little place and hide.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh my.
So for the final section, let's talk about a little bit more about the rest of the place.
That's right.
How we can give tips to our audience
Yes.
to change our house to a home, and then we have a movie and then a book to share.
Movie and a book. Yes.
See you
then.
later.
Dorothy 有啲人咧成日話我哋九型人格嘅4號仔咧，就硬係咧好多愁善感，又分外多情嘅喎。你點睇呢一樣嘢？
咁就見仁見智嘅。 不過比起其餘嗰8個 number 咧，我哋又真係好似好多時都被情所困咁樣，真係會令人會覺得我哋好多情嘅。
咁但係情又係乜嘢嘅一回事呢？
咁其實情好闊㗎，有對父母嘅情啦，對兄弟姊妹嘅情啦，友情啦咁。不過我諗最困擾我哋嘅就係啲痴情咯，同埋因為情而帶嚟嘅好多嘅傷痛。
咁啊，如果大家咧想知道我哋有幾咁多情呢，就留意我哋個節目啦。逢星期4晚夜晚10點正，練心堂濃本多情。
Well, in this last section, Rosann, I really want to share with you a lot of complaint I heard from the
Complaints,
the women, from the housewife in today's family. You know, in Hong Kong, I think Hong Kong women are very lucky. We are blessed because it's so easy we can get a Filipino maid and an Indonesian maid to help us. So a lot of those household chores can be done by the maid. Cleaning the toilet, all those messy things. And now the maids also, the domestic helper, also help us in raising our children.
Oh, yes.
So first of all, I don't see why Hong Kong women complain, because with that, we can afford to go out to work. But then the problem is, with this person inside their house, actually, because the maid, the domestic helper, is so close with the children, I hear a lot of envy or jealousy story from the woman.
Ama drama.
Ama drama, that's called.
Ama drama.
Right.
And it is very complex.
Yes. How we should treat our domestic helper. You know,
Yeah.
my mother used to be a working woman.
Yes.
So when we were young, at that time we also have an ama. But that time they were very cheap.
We better clarify for people who don't know Hong Kong. What does ama mean?
Ama is more like when in the 50s, these women, they are single women. They never get married. They work in the household. They stay with the family. And they are more like it's like a family member.
Yeah,
right.
A household servant.
Right.
But included. There was some care about how this person feels.
Right. And people like my mom, they really treat their ama very well, because in order for her to go out to work, the ama take good care of their children.
Yes.
And my mother respect this ama more like a grandmother
Oh,
than like the
yes,
domestic helper of today's Hong Kong women. That's why I don't understand. I think the same apply, because Hong Kong women today still need to work, and they let their children, let the domestic helper to take care of the children. But strangely enough, a lot of young Hong Kong women these days are very mean to their maid, right?
Oh,
and they don't know how to, you know.
Well, how would the role models of people who've grown up for generations with household helpers, there's pattern set of how you can be respectful to your helper without telling them off. How you can do that. If you've never had experience with a paid helper in a home, sometimes your language can be crude.
Yeah, I think that explains a lot. Yeah, that explains a lot.
So some of it is cultural heritage.
Yes.
Another thing is, it really depends on the ages of the children and the personalities of the children. Now, very young children, 1.5 to 2, 3, 4 years, they need a lot of care. Those kids fall over, their hands are sticky all over the place.
Yep.
So that who's ever caring for them all day long is definitely the person they count on.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely the person they count on.
They see the domestic helper more than their mother, right?
And if it's a tough question for families, for working women, and not all women have husbands present, but there are working moms who work so that this child can have better schooling, piano lessons, a chance to go ski in Japan, and pay for the household helper.
Yeah.
So moms are working hard outside the home, but they also want to have this close relationship with their kids. Somewhere, somehow, something's got to go.
Yes, yes.
It might mean that mom really can't do the overtime, which is a real bummer in Hong Kong, because every office works overtime.
Overtime, yes, yes.
or mom has to curb her Saturdays and Sundays so that she really is spending time with her kids on Saturday and Sunday, which might be fine.
Yeah.
Might be fine, but when then does mom get a day off? If she's working full time,
Yeah.
5 days a week, and if she's with her kids 2 days a week,
No time
mom,
for her.
she needs to rest.
Yes. Yes.
She needs some rest. And
Yeah.
it's not easy with children, but it's also not easy when there's an older person to care for.
Wow.
So there's a lot of women who've raised their children. Now they're in their 50s and 60s, and they have an older parent
Yeah.
or auntie, can't live by themselves. The family doesn't want to put this person into a senior home. And it depends on the senior.
Yeah.
Some seniors can actually help with the cooking. Others need help with moving. So every family in every household setting is different.
It's different. Yeah.
But if you want too much, the old thing in counseling, they come to see you. I have this problem, I have this problem, I have this problem, I have this problem. And the one thing the counselor says is, something's got to go.
Something has to go. Yeah.
Something has to go.
Yeah. Your priority.
What is it you're trying? I want a house, I want a home, I want my kids, I want my grandmother, I want this. Something's got to go.
Yeah.
You can't do everything every year in your life.
I heard a lot of women telling me the same story. She only have a peaceful time when the kids goes to sleep. The father also goes to sleep. The Filipino go back to her little room, and then she can just sit down and just have a cup of water or tea and then rest.
Yes.
And that was like 1 a.m. Right? So you
Rest.
can imagine at 7 she has to get up again, and the routine.
A lot of working
Yeah.
women prefer the rest to sleep. Just to hear nothing, I can do my own thoughts. And as soon as they sit for a few minutes, they start writing a list of what they have to do tomorrow. They have to. What I say to working mothers, fortunately, is these kids would grow up.
Yes.
Now, if you have school-age kids, they know the kind of rules that mom likes and what can they do when the helper
Yes.
is around.
Yes. Yes.
Mom doesn't allow snacks 1.5 hours before supper. Mom's got a rule. Or, Mom, you're not allowed to eat this food in the afternoon. If you're hungry, you can only eat fruit. I don't want fruit. I want to go have a Big Mac. You're not having a Big Mac because we're going to have dinner together. And there's waiting for at least one parent to have a meal.
Right.
So school-age children. Teenagers, another thing. Teenagers are, what's the matter with you? I don't know. Do you want to talk? I don't know. Sweetheart, I've been working all day.
Yeah.
I really love you. I'm happy to hear what went on at school, but if you tell me you don't want to tell me, then I'm going to go do my work. You always have to work. So teenagers, it's just what stage in the family process are you? Young children have their issues. School-age kids, you got to go back to school night. As soon as you get home, nope, we're going back because he's in a production. It's a
Yep.
science fair.
Right.
It's some reason you got to leave the house. So come back to this house. This house is full of patterns of activity. Which ones do you look forward to? Which ones can you plan? How much flexibility
Yeah.
can there be?
And it's even worse when the house becomes, there's so much tension.
Yes.
Okay, in your case just
Yeah.
now, the kids are just not giving you an answer, but still he's somewhere you can see. Just imagine your kids just after dinner just rush back to the room and close the door, and there's no talking, right? And you know something is wrong, but there's nothing you can do. And okay, if they ask for a special program they want to attend, oh mom, I want to learn the ukulele, right? And then you never hear him practice the ukulele, and you will just like, hey, we spend quite a lot of time in the class, right? Why don't you practice? Get out lah, it's none of your business. I play while you are not around. Why don't you play a song? No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's like this,
activities
right?
in the home.
The activities at home. I really miss the days when I was in in
Yeah.
United States, I went to some of those American family,
Oh, did you?
and they
Yeah.
do the laundry together, right? You yeah, right? And
Folding.
folding, right?
Folding the clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging them up.
Right.
Yes.
And then if it's a family meal, you can see the young children help with the setting up of the table, right?
Yes.
And so if there is a game room, they usually have in the basement, there's some place they can watch the baseball or games together.
Yeah.
You know, to me, this is all like Hollywood movies.
Yes.
In
Okay.
Hong Kong, the family don't have that. They don't, as I said, they don't eat in the dining room. They don't spend time talking to each other. So whenever they are talking, they are actually screaming at each other. Get out come out from the washroom. You are using it for such a long time. We are rushing to the school bus. It's a lot of tension.
Wow.
So maybe I don't know how to conclude this episode, but I was thinking maybe as adult we need to have a different mood ourselves
Yes.
when we go back home, right? If we are in this like
yeah.
rushing mood, we are actually create a lot of tension. The whole context of this place becomes such a tense environment. But if
Yeah.
the parents are willing to relax, sort of put down all our armor
Yes.
when we open our house door
Yes.
and turn this into a
Wow.
home,
Yes.
right? If you are still struggling,
Still
you bring
struggling.
all these problems to the place, and then you expect your children are like your colleagues. So report to me, what have you done today? It's like a staff reporting to the manager. You know, I hear a lot of complaint from the children. They said, you know, my father is such an important person in the corporation. When he got back home, he treat us like one of his staff.
Oh.
Right? It's like, what have you done today? How come you didn't do this? What are you waiting for? So how are you going to accomplish this? If you don't finish this, how can you get into
He's
a
a
good
manager.
university? It's a manager.
Manager.
It's not
managing.
a father, it's not a mother.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Looking, I agree that there are issues with families and couples and 3 generations. But one of the phenomenon we're seeing is that increasing numbers of people choose to live alone.
Oh, yes, yes.
Now, we used to think, well, who lives alone? A man alone, okay. A woman alone, we're not so sure about that. But it happens. Old people, well, yes, old people and young people. In the United States these days, in cities, so however you want to define an urban area, of people over 30 years old, more than half are living alone.
By choice or by
See,
circumstances?
look at the face. You said by choice. Some people delightfully speak of by choice. I'm talking to 2 young women from China or Thailand or Japan, pick a place, where they used to live in a big family.
Okay.
Now she's 32 years old. She has a university education, or she's traveled a bit. She has a chance to be in Hong Kong for a while. She wants her own apartment. She might share it with another woman, but there's 2 separate bedrooms. Because we're talking about a new affluence
Oh, okay.
among young-ish. Now, we're not 20-year-olds. These are 30-year-olds. They
30-ish.
have to work
Yeah.
for a while.
Right, right.
And they're very, very happy to be living alone. It's alone by choice.
Okay, okay.
Oh, their first, and how long have they been living alone? There's questions about living alone, and there's critique from their Thai parents, their Japanese parents, their Chinese parents. Why are you living alone?
Alone,
It's not
right.
safe. You should be living with your aunt. I know this relative. You should. She's got enough money. She wants her own. And they're small flats, 400 square feet,
Right, right.
350 square feet.
Yeah.
But she wants to be alone. Near the MTR, it's a little bit more expensive, but
Yes.
she wants to be alone.
Yes.
And when you talk with them, and a lot of these youngish women are absolutely fluent in English. Why would they see me? Because they've worked abroad. They've been in Singapore.
Yes.
They've been in Australia. They've been in Berlin for a while. They come to Hong Kong because it's career development.
Yes. Yes.
And now they're coming to see me because there's a question of, do they ever want to get married?
So comfortable living all by herself, right?
But how do you live by yourself? What do you miss? Rosann, I really don't miss anything. It's really kind of nice to do whatever I want to do.
Yes.
I feel, I have a small bedroom. That's my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I like preparing my own food because I've learned to eat salads. In the States, in Australia, in Canada, everybody eats salads. You don't have to have a cooked meal at night. Or I will pick something up from the grocery store, not a restaurant. She's picking up lean meat, or she's picking up a prepared salad.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm quite happy eating on my own.
Yeah.
I usually watch television when I eat. And then I turn the TV off. And I said, and then what? Oh, I like fashion magazines. I like fashion magazines. Fashion magazines.
Yeah.
So what's your pattern? I get up in the morning. I'm a morning person, so I like to make my own breakfast. What do you make for breakfast? Cereal, boiled egg. And I clean it up before I leave because I can't afford a helper. So there's another population seeping into Hong Kong of young women alone. Now, maybe young men alone, and I've heard from the Filipino helpers, they love working for men who live alone.
Live alone, yes.
Because there's nothing to clean up.
Nothing to clean up.
And you don't have to cook very much.
Yeah.
Have beer in the fridge, have cheese in the fridge. Absolutely wonderful.
Ice cream.
Absolutely wonderful. So we think about our families.
Yes.
And we are happy for our families. And we are now at a time in history where we have couples living together, couples and children living together, grandparents taking care of kids, greater families in 3 different apartments, but only one apartment's got the cooking going on.
Yeah.
All of that is happening.
Yeah.
And the new flow is people who choose to live alone. We'll talk about more about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I'm the one responsible for movie, I was thinking, instead of this happy family thing, I think 3 years back I saw a movie called The August Osage. Is it Osage? Let me see the name. Yeah, Osage County.
Oh.
Osage, Osage.
Osage County.
Okay, it's August, then Osage County.
Ooh, what's
It's
that
another
about?
movie by Meryl Streep.
Uh-huh.
And Meryl Streep is a pretty bitter widow. Her husband recently passed away, and she had 3 daughters. And one of them is Julie Robbins, right? All grew up, some married, some divorced, and they all came back for the funeral and to spend some time with the mom, because I think the mom also had diagnosed with cancer. And they have been grown up and they all went away, right? And why I think of that movie, the most famous scene of that movie was obviously the dinner table setting, where after the funeral they all have to go back home, and the Meryl Streep, the mother's sister, and the brother-in-law and the kid also attend the funeral. So there's this huge dining table with so many people, and they talk about family issues. And the uncle is the oldest man in the family, right? So he's supposed to give a speech,
Wow.
And that was the hilarious part, because it's so long, and Meryl Streep it's such a good actress, she's just like rolling her eyes, when are you going to finish? And the reason I think of this movie when we think the house is not a home is like all the girls were brought up in this place.
Yeah.
But there are so many, I would say, conflict and misunderstanding. And with all these years, the kids all grown up and moved separate place. And now the elder sister, Julie Robbins, obviously had a lot of conflict with the mother.
Wow.
And it was so good. Yeah, and you can feel the love together with a lot of misunderstanding. And the daughters always want to get the mother's approval. And actually the mother had been suffering from depression for quite some time, hiding her Valium, her medicine.
All in this house.
All in this house.
In this house. The house that was a home.
Yes.
House that was a home.
It's like, we need to think, even with a lot of conflict, is this still a home with conflict? All right?
Sure.
Yeah, so what about your book?
My book is Homemaking is a Social Art.
Yes.
It's the process of making a home.
Okay.
Not whether you should paint the walls blue
Ooh, not
or
that
how much
kind.
furniture you need, but we're talking about a home for the soul. It's not only a home for your body.
Okay.
But where will your mind feel at ease? Where will your spirit feel at ease? And you build that into your homemaking. Small room, small flat, farmhouse, ranch house, a mansion. Still, the feelings involved are, how do people use that space? How do they make it?
Yeah.
How do they make it a home?
Right.
So it's an art. It's a social art. So decorating a house might be a visual art, but making a home is a social art. Relationships.
Yes. Wow.
Even when you live alone, there's how you feel about being alone and the memories you have of when you didn't live alone.
Yeah. I should borrow your book 3 months ago when I'm struggling. This is so
Yeah.
good, right? Creating a home for body, soul, and spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rosann, you are good. You almost have a book for every topic.
Well, I think of it. We do think ahead of time which topics, and we've heard from you which
Yeah.
topics. Apparently, men want more about women.
Yes.
Men are writing us that they want to learn more about women, but
Yeah.
we don't know which age group you're
Yeah.
interested
Yeah,
in.
we will think about it.
We will think about
and
that
we will
one.
definitely answer your needs. So
Yeah.
do drop us a note or maybe send us a message.
Yeah.
So what topics you want to talk about? We still have time for
We'll
that.
still- and you like the conversation. You don't want the theories only. You want the conversation. So we do listen to your comments, and we're very appreciative for them. And we keep going.
Yes.
Dorothy, we keep going.
See you next week.
See you next time.